All right, so welcome back for another deep dive with us.
Glad to be here.
And today we're tackling a case that's really just stuck with people.
Yeah.
The disappearance of Brian Shaffer.
It's really one of those that you just can't shake.
Yeah, I mean, it's been years since he vanished from a bar in Columbus, Ohio. And just like seemingly into thin air.
It's like the earth's just opened up and swallowed him.
It really is. And the craziest part is it remains unsolved.
Absolutely.
I mean, so we've got excerpts from the Wikipedia article on this case, and we're going to break down the facts, explore the twists and turns, all that good stuff.
All the details that have kept this case so alive in everyone's minds for so long.
Exactly. And it's truly, it highlights the limits of technology and investigation, you know?
For sure.
Even with security cameras everywhere, you'd think.
Right.
You know, we could track everybody, but
Someone can just disappear.
yeah. And that's what makes Brian's case so fascinating.
Oh, absolutely.
He was last seen on those cameras inside the Ugly Tuna Saloon, a bar, in the early hours of April 1st, 2006.
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day, very eerie.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
But he's never seen leaving.
Nope.
So let's rewind a little bit, though.
Okay.
Who was Brian Shaffer before that night?
Well, he was a 27-year-old medical student at Ohio State University.
Right.
And, everything we know paints a picture of this, bright, happy guy, promising future ahead of him, loving relationship. His friends described him as well-adjusted.
Sounds like he had it all put together.
Yeah, he did, pretty much.
Oh,
However, he had recently experienced the loss of his mother.
oh wow.
And while he seemed to be coping, that kind of loss can leave a mark,
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's tough, yeah.
It definitely adds a layer of complexity to understanding his state of mind at the time. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
So let's talk about March 31st, 2006.
Okay.
The night Brian went missing.
Right.
It was the start of spring break, and he was out celebrating with friends.
Yeah, just a typical Friday night, for a college student. He was bar hopping with his friend, Clint Florence.
All right.
They started at a couple other bars before ending up at the Ugly Tuna Saloon around 1:15 a.m.
And this is where the story really takes a turn.
Yeah, into the bizarre.
Yeah, bizarre is the word for it.
It really is.
Security footage shows Brian inside the bar, even chatting with two women around 2 a.m.
Right.
And then
Nothing.
nothing.
It's like he just vanished.
Poof.
Gone.
It's like he stepped into a parallel dimension.
I know.
Security cameras covered every exit.
Yep.
And there's no footage of Brian leaving.
Yep.
The bar was thoroughly searched, but no trace of him.
Like I said, is like he was just swallowed up.
It almost defies logic,
Yeah, it really does.
In this day and age,
Yeah.
cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
It'd be impossible to vanish so completely.
Well, except that's exactly what happened.
I know.
Crazy.
That's what's so wild about it. And obviously, police launched a full investigation.
They had to.
And one of the first things that jumped out was that Brian's friend that night,
Oh.
Clint Florence, refused to take a lie detector test.
That definitely raised some eyebrows.
I mean, I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah. Of course, polygraph tests, they're not foolproof. They're not admissible in court for a reason.
Right.
But in a high-profile missing person case like this,
Yeah.
that refusal can cast a long shadow,
For sure.
regardless of actual guilt or innocence.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
It feeds public speculation, for sure.
Absolutely.
It makes you wonder what, if anything, he might be hiding.
Right.
Did the police consider the possibility that Brian might have left the bar through some unconventional means?
Like what?
I don't know, like a service entrance? Or maybe even disguised himself?
Oh, interesting.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, they explored every avenue.
Okay.
I mean, the bar's layout was, scrutinized. The
Yeah.
sewer system was checked. Possibility of a disguise was considered.
Wow.
I mean, they even looked into whether he could have left through a service entrance used by the band that was playing that night.
Oh, but none of those theories panned out.
Yeah. So,
It's a mystery.
it really is a mystery.
Big one.
So we're left with this perplexing situation.
It's wild.
A man vanishes from a crowded bar seemingly without a trace? And even the most thorough investigation yields nothing.
It's like a real-life locked room mystery.
It really is. Were there any other leads or theories that the police explored?
There were, yeah.
Okay.
Some more plausible than others.
Okay.
Early on, there was speculation about a possible connection to the smiley face killer theory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Have you heard about that?
I have, yeah. That's a chilling one.
Yeah, it is.
But you said it was debunked?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been largely debunked.
Okay.
Law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, haven't found credible evidence to support, the the existence of a coordinated group of smiley face killers.
Okay.
In Brian's case specifically,
Yep.
there was no evidence linking his disappearance to any of the supposed, smiley face murders.
Right. So another dead end. Yeah, pretty much.
Did the police ever consider the possibility that Brian might have just walked away from his life voluntarily?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's always a consideration in missing person cases.
Yeah.
However, there was nothing in Brian's life to suggest he was unhappy or planning to disappear.
Yeah.
He had a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, he seemed to.
A bright future as a doctor. A loving girlfriend.
It's like it.
His family and friends were adamant that he wouldn't just vanish on his own.
Yeah, doesn't seem like that tracks with what we know about him.
No, really.
And then there's the heartbreaking story of Brian's father, Randy Shaffer.
Oh, yeah.
He dedicated years of his life to searching for his son, never giving up hope.
Yeah, Randy's dedication was truly remarkable.
I mean, that's got to be tough.
Yeah, he joined forces with other families of missing persons,
Wow.
advocating for improved protocols in missing person investigations.
It's nice that something good came out of it, at least.
Yeah,
Wow. So he even followed leads from psychics.
he did, desperately clinging to any sliver of hope that might lead him to Brian.
Wow, that's,
Yeah.
I mean, that really speaks volumes about the strength of a parent's love.
Yeah.
That unwavering determination to find their child.
Yeah, you can't imagine.
Tragically, Randy Shaffer died in 2008.
Yeah.
In a freak accident, a tree branch fell on him during a windstorm.
That's just devastating.
Oh, my God.
To lose his son and then to meet such a tragic end himself, it's almost unbearable to think about.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, it adds another layer of sorrow to this already heartbreaking story.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the twists and turns. Shortly after Randy's death, a message appeared in his online obituary.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What kind of message? This case just keeps getting stranger and stranger.
Right.
Okay, so what did it say?
The message read, "To Dad, love Brian, U.S. Virgin Islands."
Oh, my gosh. Okay, that's a bombshell.
Yeah.
Did they ever figure out who posted that?
Well, it was initially a glimmer of hope, suggesting that Brian might be alive and well somewhere in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But investigators traced the message back to a public computer in Franklin County, Ohio.
Oh.
It turned out to be a cruel hoax.
Ugh, that's just despicable.
I know.
To prey on a grieving family's hope like that, oh, man, it adds a whole new level of cruelty to this whole ordeal. Did the police ever identify the person responsible for the hoax?
Unfortunately, no. It's another unanswered question in a case full of them.
So even with all the investigation, all the theories and dead ends, the central question remains, what happened to Brian Shaffer?
It seems so. The police have stated they have 3 theories about the case,
Okay.
but have refused to disclose them publicly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they haven't given a reason for this secrecy, which only adds to the intrigue surrounding the case.
Well, yeah, that's frustrating.
I know, right?
You'd think that sharing those theories, even if they're just working hypotheses, might help generate new leads or prompt someone with information to come forward.
You would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But there could be strategic reasons for their silence.
Right.
Maybe they're worried about jeopardizing the investigation, or perhaps they believe the theories are too sensitive to share at this time.
Right.
Who knows?
It's a delicate balance, I suppose.
Yeah.
Protecting the integrity of the investigation while also trying to keep the case in the public eye. And speaking of that, the case hasn't completely faded from public memory.
Right.
There have been occasional updates and potential sightings over the years.
Yeah, that's right.
Even in 2014, years after Brian vanished, the police were still receiving tips.
Wow, that's a long time.
And
then there was that image circulating online in 2019.
Oh, yeah?
A photo of a homeless man in Mexico who bore a striking resemblance to Brian.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It caused quite a stir online. Did anything come of that?
Well, the FBI conducted facial recognition analysis on the image.
Oh, wow.
And ruled out a match.
Dang.
Yeah, it was another false hope, another dead end in a case that seems to be full of them.
Yeah, it's like every time there's a glimmer of hope, it's quickly extinguished.
It's tough.
It must be incredibly difficult for Brian's loved ones to find any peace or closure.
Oh, absolutely. The not knowing,
Really?
the ambiguity of it all, it can be agonizing.
Yeah, I bet.
The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation released an age-progressed photo of Brian a few years ago, showing what he might look like in his early 40s.
Yeah, I've seen that image. It's a poignant reminder that time keeps moving forward, even as this mystery remains frozen in 2006. What do you think is the significance of releasing those age-progressed images in a case like this?
Well, I think it serves a couple of important purposes.
Okay.
First, it keeps Brian's case in the public consciousness,
Mhm.
reminding people that he's still missing.
Right.
Second, it provides a visual aid for potential witnesses.
Right.
Someone might see that age-progressed image and think, wait a minute, I know that guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's a reminder that even though years have passed, hope is not lost.
Mm,
Someone out there might have a piece of the puzzle, a memory, a detail that could finally crack this case wide open.
I hope so.
Me too. It would be great to get some closure on this,
Yeah, it would.
especially for the family and friends.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to keep talking about Brian's case.
Yeah.
To keep his memory alive and to encourage anyone with information, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, to come forward.
Exactly. You never know what tiny detail could be the thing that
Right.
puts it all together.
Yeah.
It's a case that really underscores how, even in an age of constant surveillance, some mysteries remain stubbornly unsolved.
Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating, isn't it?
It really is.
You know, we tend to think that with all this technology we have, security cameras, facial recognition software, the
Mhm.
internet, it would be nearly impossible for someone to just vanish without a trace. But yet Brian's case proves that even with all these tools, the truth can remain elusive.
Yeah, it's kind of a sobering thought. We assume with enough effort we can solve any puzzle.
Right.
But Brian's story really reminds us that sometimes the pieces just don't fit. What do you think is the most perplexing aspect of this case?
Um, I'd have to say it's the lack of a clear direction for the investigation.
Yeah.
I mean, was it voluntary? Was
Right.
it an accident? Foul play?
Yeah.
There's just not enough evidence to point definitively in any one direction.
Mhm.
And, the police holding back their theories only adds to the enigma.
Oh, for sure. It's like staring at a blurry photograph.
Yeah,
You can make out the basic shapes, but the finer details remain obscured.
exactly. And that lack of clarity makes it so difficult to find closure,
Yeah,
both for investigators and for Brian's loved ones.
absolutely. So, what can we take away from this deep dive into Brian Shaffer's disappearance? It's a story that has captured the public imagination for years and for good reason.
It really has.
What do you think that is?
Well, I think it serves as a potent reminder of the fragility of life and how quickly someone can vanish from our world.
Mm.
And it also highlights the limits of our understanding. Despite our best efforts, some mysteries may remain unsolved, leaving us to grapple with the unknown.
Yeah, and it's a humbling thought for sure,
Yeah,
especially for those of us fascinated by true crime. Brian's case is a reminder that real life is often more complex and perplexing than any fictional story.
absolutely.
Yeah, and perhaps that's the most enduring legacy of Brian Shaffer's disappearance. It's a story that continues to challenge us to question, to investigate, and to never give up hope, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds.
Well said.
It's a case that will likely stay with us long after this deep dive is over. And to our listeners, we leave you with this. What do you think happened to Brian Shaffer? What pieces of the puzzle stand out to you? Maybe by revisiting the details, by looking at it from different angles, we can collectively bring us closer to understanding this enduring mystery.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and never underestimate the power of a curious mind.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on our next deep dive.
See ya.